Since 1977, Voyager 2 has been drifting silently through the vast expanse of space. It journeyed far beyond the planets, past the Kuiper Belt, and eventually beyond the reach of the Sun's influence altogether, as Earth witnessed wars, scientific breakthroughs, and profound changes in human history. Voyager 2 simply continued forward, quiet and unwavering, transmitting the subtle music of deep space. Over time, it became less a machine and more like a phantom vessel, gliding through the stars with its golden record on board, a message from humanity meant to outlast us, carrying our greetings and dreams into the unknown. For over 40 years, its signals remained steady and consistent. Measurements of cosmic radiation, magnetic fields, and interstellar plasma. But then something unexpected happened. A recent transmission broke the long-established pattern. Instead of routine data, scientists detected a structured burst, precise, rhythmic, and intelligent. Initially dismissed as a possible glitch or interference, the signal soon repeated, and then, abruptly, everything stopped. Voyager 2 didn't end its transmission with static or noise. It simply went dark. No final tone, no farewell ping. Just silence, and unnatural and total blackout, something Voyager 2 had never done before. The mystery deepened. What had it encountered? And who or what might have been listening? Voyager 2 was never designed to return. Its mission was to explore, observe, and report back. After completing its tour of the outer planets, it began sending slow, low-power transmissions from interstellar space. These messages, taking more than 18 hours to reach Earth, formed a quiet chronicle of the cosmic void. But in early May of this year, a team monitoring the Deep Space Network noticed an anomaly. A data packet arrived earlier than expected, and its contents were unlike anything previously received. Amid the standard radiation metrics and thermal readings, there was a distinct burst, high-frequency pulses interspersed with low-frequency gaps to regular, to deliberate, to be natural. At first, engineers suspected equipment malfunction or solar interference, but the source was clean, no distortion from solar winds or plasma. The pattern came directly from Voyager 2. Attempts to recreate the signal using onboard systems failed. None of the known software or instruments could account for the pattern's complexity or timing. It appeared as though the spacecraft had sent a message it wasn't built to create, less like telemetry and more like a coded transmission. And then silence. Total, uninterrupted silence. For 48 hours, Voyager 2 went completely offline. This was unprecedented. Even on the edge of space, its transmitters were known for their consistency. The sudden vanishing of its signal triggered immediate concern. Emergency protocols were launched to re-establish contact. But even more alarming was what that final transmission seemed to leave behind. AI-assisted decoding efforts revealed something chilling. Within the bursts were intervals of time based on prime numbers and unnatural regularity, indicating design, not chance. Some patterns resembled early encryption techniques, as though Voyager 2 had been altered or hijacked to encode a message far beyond its capabilities. This raised a profound question. How could such a message exist? Voyager 2's systems are decades old, analog, and unmodified. Some suggested that radiation might have randomly triggered a form of artificial behavior, a kind of pseudo-intelligence. Others speculated that the probe had encountered something, a phenomenon, an entity that affected its systems. Was it passing through a region where time or matter behaved differently, or had it been intercepted? These questions quickly shifted from speculation to urgent inquiry when Voyager 2 came back online, but not the same. Its new transmissions were corrupted, degraded, filled with strange symbols unfamiliar to any known dataset. As analysts peeled away layers of signal data, they discovered faint, hidden waveforms embedded beneath the surface. These weren't just anomalies. The patterns matched complex mathematical concept spirals akin to the Fibonacci sequence, ratios found in DNA, orbital paths of planets. Voyager 2 wasn't broadcasting images or voices. It was sending pure patterns, bursts of energy that carried information. Some experts noted that these bursts, when run through Fourier transformations, formed three-dimensional spirals. Harmonic analyses revealed audio waves that mimic distorted versions of the human voice, salient in tone, but undeniably rhythmic. It was as if Voyager 2 was no longer the origin of the signal, but a vessel for something else relaying a message it didn't create. Inside NASA, discussions became hushed. Publicly, officials acknowledged a minor irregularity in Voyager's signal. But internal documents painted a different picture. Leaked reports from observatories describe the signal as a non-random intelligence signature, suggesting it may not be human in origin. Some believed Voyager 2 had crossed into a zone of space where something unknown interacted with it. Others thought it may have encountered an artifact or even a form of consciousness. One disturbing theory emerged. This wasn't a message sent to us, but a response to one we had already sent. Remember the golden record, the copper disk Voyager 2 carries with sounds, images, and greetings in 55 languages? What if someone or something found it and responded? Not with speech or radio waves, but with structured data, a language made not for ears, but for machines. If that's the case, then this transmission might represent the first real contact initiated not through telescopes or sightings, but through the most distant messenger we've ever launched. As scientists continued decoding the signal's layers, they discovered embedded numerical sequences, coordinate-like patterns buried in the time intervals of the pulses. But these weren't locations within our solar system. They pointed to a remote region of space devoid of stars, planets, or any known structures. Just darkness. Upon closer investigation using radio and infrared telescopes, something unusual was detected: a cold spot, a region absorbing more energy than it should. Some described it as a gravitational anomaly. Others suspected a cloaked mass. Could this be the source or the destination? More unsettling was the fact that similar coordinate patterns had been detected before, hidden in background cosmic data going back decades. It was as though something had been trying to signal us all along, waiting for us to notice. And now, through Voyager 2, we finally did. In a desperate bid to understand the signal, NASA fed the raw data into various AI-driven language models. These systems had been trained on everything from quantum logic to ancient languages. Each attempted to decode the signal and each shut itself down. Not from errors or crashes, they simply stopped. One system labeled the signal as a self-referencing recursive loop, a message that endlessly described itself. This kind of recursion appears in genetic codes, data compression, and computer viruses. Security experts were called in to evaluate whether this signal was a kind of digital contagion, something not designed to harm our bodies, but our perception. Some believe it wasn't meant to be interpreted at all, but to overwhelm us, to force us to perceive something that once seen couldn't be forgotten. Then an independent researcher in Chile noticed something remarkable. When the signal was mirrored and plotted over time, it formed a recognizable shape, not a human face, not alien, but something abstract, symmetrical, and unsettling. It appeared to look back at the viewer. This phenomenon, dubbed the mirror effect, spread quickly among private labs. When subjected to emotional focus, the signal's patterns changed. Fear distorted them into chaos. Calm transformed them into elegant spirals. This hinted at something terrifying. The signal might not just be responsive. It might be aware. If that's true, then Voyager 2 didn't just transmit a message. It opened a two-way channel, and we may have already replied unintentionally. Just when experts believed the event had ended, Voyager 2 sent one final signal burst. It was a compressed data stream, taking over 5 hours to decode. Inside was no telemetry, just symbols. A continuous spiral of geometric shapes tightening toward a single point. At the center was an emblem, a circle divided into 3 equal segments. No one knows what it means, but the same symbol has been found carved into ancient monuments across the globe, from Mesopotamia to the Andes. Voyager 2 may not have discovered something new. It may have reminded us of something long forgotten, older than humanity, older even than the stars. Something that's been watching, waiting for us to notice. For years, we believed Voyager 2 was simply drifting, an echo of humanity lost in the vastness, but maybe we weren't ignored. Maybe we were being observed. The signal it sent back wasn't noise or malfunction. It was deliberate, it was a reply, and the silence that followed? That was part of the message. Something out there heard us. And when it answered, it spoke in the only language the void understands: frequency, pattern, and meaning encoded in silence. This wasn't an accident, it was an encounter hidden in the language of the cosmos, waiting for someone to finally listen. And now we have. The real question isn't whether we're alone. It's why now? Why answer after all this time? And what comes next?